Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
Firstly, thank you for coming on this morning. It's 9 a.m. now, so big shout out to you on a Friday, on a Saturday.
Still a weekend for some people, you know?
Exactly. Some people got to work on a Sat. But thank you. It's lovely having you here, man. I wanted to ask, you originally from Morocco?
Yes, I'm Moroccan. Born and raised in Morocco.
Okay, cool. What city?
Marrakesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the capital, right?
No,
Not.
the capital is Rabat.
Okay.
So Marrakesh is one of the 3 big cities in Morocco.
Okay. I've had so many people recommend going there on a holiday, man. It looks so beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
Is it?
Yes.
And when you moved to Doha, you moved to Doha directly from Morocco?
Yes,
so you've been there?
So I've been there for the past 23 years.
Okay. Interesting.
And I moved last year.
Nice, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You went to school, uni, did everything you needed to do?
There. Everything there. I
What-
literally finished uni, got my diploma in physiotherapy. 2 months after that, Phoenix. 2 months after Phoenix, Doha.
Amazing.
It was that fast.
How was the transition coming from Morocco to Qatar?
Honestly, it was very smooth. Thanks God, it was very smooth. I came to Doha a couple of times before. First Phoenix, second Phoenix, and right after that, boom.
Amazing.
It was really fast, really smooth.
What was your, how was the upbringing like in Morocco, like in terms of culture from where you are now to there? Is it quite similar?
I'd say both. It's similar because in Morocco you can find anything. You can find like people that, Muslim people,
All types of religions.
all types of religions,
Okay.
and you can find the other area, the other side, the nightlife, the everything. So you see.
Yeah. So it's very diverse.
It is.
Okay. It reminds me a bit like Lebanon in terms of like
I'd say
you get little bits of
more
like.
than Lebanon.
Really?
Trust me.
Whoa. Okay, that's cool. I played rugby. We played a game there when I was still playing for Qatar, and it was the most.
Lebanon?
Yeah, bro. It was like the craziest diverse in culture I've ever seen. Because like you'd get there and there'd be like pockets of locations where like people would only come out at like 8 p.m.
Yes.
It's nuts. Like, and for me, like, I start going to bed at 8, you know? Like, I wake up, I wouldn't say early, but I mean, I'm up at like at least 6:30, 7 a.m. So by 8, 9 o'clock, I'm like already making my way home. And I'll never forget, we won that competition. So like, everybody was excited, like, man, let's go out. I'm like, let's go. I mean, we go have some dinner and chill, have a few drinks, whatever.
Yeah.
When it got to like 10 o'clock, and I was like, all right, guys, so
I gotta go.
we good? Like, nah, bro. People are just coming. Like, they are just arriving.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. Like, the circle of the way they entertain over a weekend is completely different to what I was used to. So, that was a very interesting dynamic of how people live. And another question: what sport did you play when you were in school?
I played a lot of sports. I'd say I started with calisthenics.
Oh, really?
First thing, yeah.
Wow.
High school, first year, it was calisthenics. We had a full equipped park there in my high school back then. So that's the first sport I did for like a year and a half. Till I discovered...
Actually coached? Or was it just something that you played around with?
Freestyle, street stuff.
Was it just something that you saw? Or like on social media?
No, it's not on social media. So every Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., it's my high school. Everyone can come and play whatever they want. We had basketball courts, football courts, rugby courts, swimming, and they had a small area where they had racks, dips, and everything. Okay. And I saw some guys, they were doing freestyle, the 360, everything, the freestyle calisthenics, and I was like, wow, the acrobatic stuff. That what got me to that sport, and I was trying to learn the tricks. Okay. And then I started.
That's amazing.
It is.
Interesting. Man, that's something that I always thought calisthenics was a very like niche. It had like a I'm just going to say like a special place, because trying to understand your body in general when it comes to body weight movements is not as easy what people think.
Not.
Even yoga,
Yeah.
like yoga is not that easy, man. You know, okay, fine. You get the basics, touch your toes, be able to, you know, put yourself in like the minimalistic positions. But some of those movements, it's like, all right, how do you get there? Help me. But yeah, calisthenics is crazy. I mean, Callus down the road, I walk whenever I walk down there to fetch for lunch. I'll not drop in, but I'll pass by, and some of the things those guys can do are really
amazing.
incredible. Really incredible. Okay, great. So calisthenics, you did that for a year and a half, and that must have been quite a nice, like, fundamental build to your body, right? In terms of like understanding your body.
Understanding your body.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very good background before CrossFit.
For sure.
It helped me a lot.
I can believe it.
And then they were looking, my high school, my teachers were looking for people and they were building a rugby team, the high school rugby team. So they were looking for fit people that move fast, strong people, because, you know, the first three are very big.
Yes.
The last three are fast.
Yeah.
So they suggested, me and my friend, they're like, guys, would you like to try rugby? We were like, yeah, why not? So went first session, fundamentals, trying to understand the game, how to move. I was a winger because I was the fastest. And then from there, we started from high school team to national team.
Wow.
And then,
Okay. How many years did you play?
a couple of years.
All right.
A couple of years.
Okay, that's awesome, man. And did you enjoy your position?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What? How many? I'm just trying to understand the dynamic of rugby in Morocco, because ideally, if you think of Morocco, you think football.
Yes.
So rugby is like a subsidiary sport
yeah,
for them.
It's, not
like a
that
development.
Famous. Yeah, it's under development. It's not that famous.
Were there other clubs that you guys could participate and play against?
Yes.
Okay.
We were playing in
A league?
technically Moroccan Pro League.
Okay.
So we were like 12 teams.
Wow.
From each city has its region has its own team, and we had one tournament every month. And at the end of the month, we travel tournament, 5-6 matches, points, and then you come back and you do this for like six tournaments per year, and you see where you are on the leaderboard.
Okay, fantastic. And were you guys good?
Yeah, we were top 3, top 4 all the time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. It's interesting to me that you chose rugby, because, I mean, I play rugby myself, and for me, I think it's the most beautiful game ever.
It is.
It's physical. You need, especially playing on the wing, you need agility.
Yeah.
You need top end speed. Be able to catch. So your hand-and-eye coordination needs to be excellent.
Yeah.
You know, and especially, like, I would say in the last eight years, like, the professionalism of rugby has developed tremendously. And would you say that year and a half of calisthenics and gymnastic training helped you in playing rugby, in terms of physical ability, understanding your body, being able to move? Or was it just more of
agility-wise, yes. Upper body strength, yes. Because, you know, in rugby we have one-on-one contacts.
Yes.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Besides this, I had to work on other stuff: my lower body coordination, speed, strength, change of motion, and a lot of stuff that I had to work on. Beside,
so you had a training plan to help you while you were playing?
The thing, actually, no. We had like 3 sessions per week, a couple 2 to 3 hours with the team. So the coach
in the gym?
No. Yeah, in the gym and in on court.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. And then moving into your national team, was that like a selection process?
Yeah, it was a selection.
Okay.
Yeah, after the last match, the last tournament, so they see the level, they see the guys, the top scorers and everything, and they pick up like 25 to 30 athletes. We went to a camp in 3 days in Rabat. Day 1, day 2, day 3, so they had to select like 15 people. And I got it.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. And did you guys actually play in any international?
International, yeah. We went to Tunisia.
Okay.
For Arab Championship. I don't remember. We got like fourth. Yeah, we went to the semifinals, and yeah.
Who participated? Like, who were the other countries that you guys played against?
Tunisia, some African teams. I think the best, I don't remember actually, but it was South Africans were really good, but they weren't participating in this one.
Okay.
There's a country very close to South Africa. What's its
Namibia?
name? Yes, Namibia.
Okay.
They are very good.
Okay.
They are very good.
Yeah. They are. They
Yeah.
are. Okay, so I'm trying to picture the division. So I'm assuming, because for us, Qatar's in the Asian division.
Yeah.
So we played against, for instance, Lebanon. We played against Iran. We played against Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Thailand. That section. So they must have had like a North African slash like Middle East Arabian.
Morocco?
Yeah.
So North African, Arab, Africa.
Okay.
So yeah, there was the African Championship, the Arab Championship, and
I
the
see.
North African
I
Championship.
see.
Yeah,
Okay. So it was a combination of all three.
Of all three, yeah.
Okay.
That's yeah.
All right. And out of that competition, did they have like a selection? For instance, if Namibia won, they would get pushed into then the next division? Because everything is like subgraded, right?
Subgraded, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Do you remember where you guys came?
Semi-final,
Okay.
top 4.
Shit.
Yeah, that was really good.
All
yeah,
right.
and some guys from that competition, they got offers from USA, from
Clubs.
Canada, clubs. Yes,
That's
yes,
so cool,
that's
man.
so cool.
Awesome.
But that was my last competition. And when I came back, I discovered CrossFit.
All right.
there
So
was
from rugby, you branched off.
CrossFit.
Okay. How? What was the transition like?
I stopped. It was off season, around July, same period. July, we finished rugby, finished school, finished everything. So my routine was like I did not travel. I wanted to get stronger for next season.
Okay.
So I was like just going to the gym, powerlifting. I was doing squats, doing bench press, doing deadlifts, 3-4 times a week, every day. Same programs, nothing fancy, nothing, just basic lifts. And then there's one of my neighbors. He saw me going back and forth from the gym, just training, eating. Everyone is traveling, everyone is having fun. I'm just going to the gym and coming back. And he was like, would you like to try a new gym that just opened in Marrakesh at that time? I remember 2018, late 2018. I was like, okay, yeah. I was hearing about CrossFit, but I had no idea what it is. What do they do? You know, when you hear CrossFit, you imagine the guys slamming the
tires with a hammer. Yeah. Okay.
So I was like, okay, let's try this. And I went for my first session of CrossFit. It was really good. I like the vibe, especially the vibe, the community. Everyone is supporting each other. The coaches were really nice, were really professional. Yeah, I did the workout. It was really tough. There was like a couplet 21-15-9 power cleans, handstand push-ups. So the handstand push-up side was easy, but the power clean, because I was doing calisthenics, but the power cleans were a muscle clean at that time. So yeah, that was it. And when I finished the session, he was like, dude, I see a very good potential in you if you try this sports and just give me 3 to 4 sessions a week for the next 2 months, and let's see, you may be really good in this. And at that time, it's 29th October, and the open was like 4 months ahead. So he wanted me to get ready for my first CrossFit Open. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And from there, just classes, 1 class a day, 5 days a week, for 4 months before the Open. And it was a very good decision that I've made.
So that was your development into CrossFit.
Yes.
I'm just going to go a bit back quickly, because you had started with calisthenics. So you found a fundamental strength program to develop yourself without any weights. And then you went into rugby, which helped a bit with cardiovascular fitness, especially being on the ring.
Yeah.
obviously a little bit of grit because it's a physical sport. You need to sometimes bite your lip and knuckle down. And it gave you also fundamentals on agility and being able to, I almost want to say like work through a bit of pain as well. Because as we know, with rugby comes injuries.
Especially I was playing 7. I was not playing 15.
Oh.
So it's fast. It's very fast.
Okay.
It's very hard. You know.
In terms of like monostructural cardiovascular activity, 7s rugby is by far more tiresome. Absolutely, because you got more space. So so if you fast and you've got an engine, man, you're winning.
Yeah.
I never played 7s.
Yeah, 7s.
Never. It was. It's not that it was too difficult. It was more the fact that with 7s you need to tick more than 2 or 3 boxes. So I played hooker, so 2 or 6.
Yeah.
So essentially, for me, I was that person that was like constantly underneath the ruck, doing all the dirty work. But at the end of the day, when it comes to 7s, your space is much wider. So, and on top of that too, when you're playing, the ball, you ideally don't want the ball to stop.
Yeah.
Where in 15s, like the goal for the defending team is to try and obviously hold that ball down until you get it back. 7s is
much more harder.
Absolutely. It's
sorry to cut you. For us who don't know, give us like a 1-minute break, like rundown of like 7, 15 position for people.
Okay. Cool. So for rugby's got two sections. One is 15s, which means there's 15 players on the field.
15, yeah.
So it will be exactly 15 versus 15. And then there is the Olympic side, which is 7. So that's 7 players on a team. And the less players on the team, the more you run. Because the field doesn't get any smaller. The field stays the same, but the players become less. So
even if the 15s game is 80 minutes long, 40, and the 7s is 7 minutes, but still, on the 7 minutes, you do not stop.
You know what we'll do, Dino? We'll drop a YouTube clip of how 7's players look and how 15's players look. You'll see the difference.
We're more handsome.
It'll be like active class and CrossFit class. Yeah, man. So where were we? Oh, so just talking in general now, playing 7s, that's like another ball game. So we had this gymnastic background. We had the endurance for rugby. So you had all these like, I feel like there was like this little fundamental build in you. So that when you got to CrossFit, you already had a base. You know, you already had this base to start with.
That's exactly what my coach told me at that time. When I told him my background, he was like, dude, you have a very good background to start CrossFit. All you need to work on is your weightlifting. You're still young. You're still peaking. You just have to eat enough. Yeah. And you'll get strong.
How old were you at the time when you started?
18.
Okay.
Late 18.
Prime.
Yeah. Ooh.
Prime time. Okay, great. So you build up, you eventually do your first open. How was that experience?
It was amazing.
Really?
I'll never forget my first open. I can never forget my first open workout. The 15 minutes AMRAP, row wall shots.
Okay.
19.
Yeah. I'll never forget that either. It was terrible. For me, it was terrible. It
was really nice.
Okay.
I got 9th in Morocco at that time.
First time?
First time, 4 months in, 9th in Morocco. I think I was 300-ish in Africa.
Okay.
So that was...
solid.
Yeah, that was a solid start.
Absolutely. And I mean, it was just all conditioning, you know. How hard do you want to work to keep going? Okay, amazing. Open ends, I'm assuming, I mean, that's a 3-week period or 4?
It was 5-week period
weeks.
at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 5-week period finishes, and the decision was made. It was,
Yeah,
I'm
خلاص.
going straight, I'm going,
All
giving
in-
everything.
All in CrossFit.
Okay.
We talked about the pros and cons of continuing in rugby, continuing in CrossFit. Like future-wise, what's more beneficial for you? And the odds were more for CrossFit than for rugby.
Okay.
Because even if you keep playing rugby at that time, it's in Morocco, it's under development. I'm not in the US, I'm not in the UK, I'm not in France, I'm not in Australia, and I'm not in South Africa. If I was in one of these countries, I would have a very bright future. But in Morocco, that wasn't the case. I had examples in front of me of guys that played in the national team, the seniors, for 7+ years. And at the end of their careers, they're just coaches for teams, or they have their job on the side, and the rugby was just like a side hustle, a passion for them. So for CrossFit, no. It's a company, it's an individual sports. If you get better and better and better at it, if you reach the elite level, you will live good. And thanks God that's the case now. So I made a very good decision to stop rugby and continue CrossFit. Injury wise, they're the same. Even in rugby, it's a little more risky, but in CrossFit, it's much better. Yeah.
I feel like that any like high-end spectrum of any sport has risk. Whether it's tennis, paddle, golf.
Anything.
When you look at Tiger Woods,
Yeah.
Who would have thought someone that is a pro golfer would have so many, injuries?
Injuries, yes.
So whatever you play at the highest point of, even if it's not the 1% of professional sport, if it's the highest point where you're at, there's always risk involved, So, and that's what you have. At the end of the day, we all have to live with it. It's just how can we minimize it as much as possible? So trying to keep that, like, it's so tough, man, because you try and keep this borderline of being healthy, but at the same time being competitive. And if you had it 50-50, you wouldn't be competitive.
Competitive at all.
Exactly.
You gotta risk it.
You have to.
Gotta risk it.
You have to keep punching through that ceiling. And the only way you do that is by putting yourself
under pressure.
Exactly. 100%, man. I'll never forget. I mean, my rugby career was a shambles. I, as you know, I split almost everything in my right knee.
Yeah.
So I must say though, if it wasn't for CrossFit, I probably wouldn't have been able to recover as fast as I thought I was going to. So at least when I did tear my shit up, I had a good base to be able to recover.
Yes.
And that was, even though I had to go for surgery, I still had better mobility than most people coming out of surgery. I had enough muscle to be able to hold
Support
on.
the
Yes.
joint.
And then what was quite interesting was when I was going for my rehab, I had noticed, funny enough, that they used a lot of CrossFit fundamental movements to get better.
Single leg work.
Exactly. Single leg work, step ups.
Yeah.
It was all the basic fundamental movements, step ups, lunges. Now, most of the, isometric holds. So the only difference is that because you were forced to be, let's say, stitched up, you had to rebuild your range, rebuild your strength. Where a lot of the times, you go into your first CrossFit class, I've seen it all the time, where there'll be a student that walks in and they don't know how to squat. And then, the first thing you would say is, well, feet out, knees out, chest up, drop as low as possible. But I feel like once you're injured, or this is now from my point of view, like I used to coach like that, but now since I've been injured, I look and I go, well, they just don't know what their range is yet. So you got to build it.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is that I could reflect on how CrossFit actually works hand in hand. I wouldn't say it's not a rehab form of training, but it does develop fundamentals so that if you do have injury, you can still rebuild yourself back up. And that's the beauty about CrossFit in general and functional fitness in general. I would say the biggest change that I'd noticed though is over the last like 5 years, it's no longer a recreational sport. Box fitness is great. You come in, you do your 45 minutes to an hour, you get out. It's a great way of living. It's a nice way for longevity, stay healthy. You learn a little bit about nutrition, great community, everybody suffers together. But like the sport of CrossFit is no longer a recreational sport. It's on. Like people are dedicating their lives to it. Yeah. And I mean, that's why I brought you here, is because I feel like your story, when I heard about it and I heard that you play rugby, and I really wanted to dive in to see like what made your decision to move in there. And it's beautiful because at the end of the day, like I think a lot of pro athletes, all of them have a base of some fundamental movement or not movement, sorry, some fundamental base that when they started, they already had the edge, you know, to push forward. Anyway, so the open ends, you dedicate yourself to this. Did you keep on following classes, or did you go on
classes for almost a year and a half? Okay. Just classes. And then I decided to, so when I saw that classes are no longer challenging, I decided to do open gym. I've been looking for online programs at that time. I started with Contrain. You know it?
Yes,
Contrain. Yeah.
Yes.
Been doing that for like 9 months. I switched to Invictus. And like this, day in, day out, and until Corona arrived. That was a whole new, a whole chapter in my life. So when everything locked out, I just started, I was peaking and they just closed everything. So I was forced to train at home. There was a rough period of my life, but I kept training. I kept doing what I can. I took some equipment to my house, some dumbbells, a medicine ball, and jump rope. That's all I had.
Really?
Yeah, that's all I could take from my gym. And I tried all the formats, anything I can do with these three. I've done it for 4 months until they opened everything, and I'm back.
Wow.
4 months.
That's crazy. With only 3 different bits of equipment. I must say, we were very fortunate on this side. The gym facilities were kind enough to rent out equipment for us. So I'll never forget. It was 4 of us in an apartment. We had a rower. Ooh. We had 2 dumbbells. We had our jump rope. And we chucked everything out on the balcony, man. 4 people. It was basically just like you do the workout, stand up, shuffle, next station, shuffle, next station. But it's amazing also like what you can, if you don't give up and you just keep dedicating yourself, it's also amazing what you can achieve with such a little, you know. So 4 months goes by, COVID starts subsiding, and they allow you back into the gym. I'm assuming also at this time, because I remember during, what was this, 2020?
2020,
or 2019?
Yes.
2020. Okay. During this period, they did have quite, I think the Open did have like a, what do you call it? I almost want to say like minimalistic workouts. So they had like without, I wouldn't say out equipment, like you needed.
That's after COVID.
Was it after? Okay.
Yeah. So 2019, the Open was in February. And it was at that year that they decided to move the Open from February to October.
I see.
So in 1 year, I did 2 Opens, 2019 and technically 2020.
Okay.
In 2020, it was COVID. So it was the year that they did the online thing, and only 5 guys went to the games. So March 2020, games. March 2020, COVID. So I did 2 opens, and from March 2020 to June 2020, it was
Shut down.
everything was shut down. July 2020, they opened everything, and from there,
I see. Okay.
So the next, so it's the 2021, no, October 2020. It's the first open after COVID.
I see.
This is when they had the minimalist version.
I get you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's push it back. Let's push forward 2 years. So we get to 2022. I think that was your first Phoenix Games,
Yes.
right? Man, so you had only 2 years of training.
Yes. And before Phoenix, I was at the semifinals in South Africa.
Okay,
Yeah.
really? How?
Yeah.
Johannesburg or Cape Town?
Cape Town.
They moved it the year
Yeah,
after
yeah.
to Johannesburg. Okay, so you had a great experience.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Competition-wise?
Competition-wise was really fun. Even in 2021, I would have qualified, but I missed the deadline submission of the
I see.
video and everything. So it was more of, it's not meant to be in
I get it.
2021. So I had 1 more year to train and to get better. 2022, Open done, quarterfinals done. I qualified 21st Africa, going to semifinals. Finished 18 semifinals for our first year. That was a very good experience.
Amazing. That was 3 days, right?
Yes, 3
competition
days,
was
2
over
workouts.
Okay.
2 workouts a day. So it was in June 2022, and Phoenix was I think September.
Yes.
No. It was not September. It was July. It was July that year.
Yeah, because of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Because of FIFA World Cup, yeah, it was July.
The
You're right.
year after, they moved it to September.
So you never did the first Phoenix. You did 2nd edition, 3rd edition, and now 4th.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. All right. So you get to semifinals. Bro, that's awesome.
Yeah.
In 2 years, you
In
make
2
it
years.
to semifinals. That's a hell of an achievement, man. I know people that, people work their ass off just to make it to, or make it to the
Regionals
semis.
that time,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So,
So that's what gave me more motivation to
see.
keep working.
Okay. Come back after semis, body must be feeling a bit worn down.
Yeah.
And then you
So I had like three weeks after semifinals to recover a bit, get back to work for a couple weeks. Then I came to Phoenix.
okay.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
But I was really shocked when I first arrived to Doha. I arrived at 5 a.m. I was hoping that the weather is not that hot.
Oh, it's
at
terrible.
5 a.m.
June?
July.
July. Bro.
The sun was here.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like someone put a hairdryer by your face. Yeah, I know. It's horrendous. It's horrendous, man. June, July, August is like peak summer weather. But I mean, thinking of that year, Qatar, in terms of sporting events, they hosted the like biggest global sporting event in the world. So we had to fit in with FIFA schedule, put it that way. So July was the only opportunity we had to fulfill. But yeah, you get here. I think I'm talking under correction now because that's the year that we went. You went to semifinals in Cape Town. I think we went to South Korea.
Yes, exactly.
Because
Kosti, Misha, and the girls were semifinals.
They did semifinals in South Korea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Now it's coming back to me. I get it. All right. You did individual,
Yes.
Phoenix
individual.
How was that experience? I don't want to compare it to any event, but how do I put this? How was the experience coming to Phoenix, playing in a local GCC competition?
That was my first. That was my first time in GCC. First, it was really good. It was a very professional organization, timing, workouts, the venue, everything was very professional. Times if you're late by 1 minute, khalas, you're out. They were very punctual. Everything was really nice. The events were very fun, especially the first one. I don't know if you remember it or not. when
Double
we got to
lunges?
no, the burpees.
The running, yeah.
Ooh.
I'm thinking. That was on the football pitch.
Yeah, on the football pitch.
You know, I'm thinking back now. Wasn't that like there were? I remember there were 3 athletes pushing to try and win that event. One was
we were 2 Moroccans.
yes.
And Oleg.
Oleg.
Yeah.
I remember that
It
I
was
remember
me,
that.
My friend Dries on my left and Oleg between us.
Yes, I remember it now. Okay, great. Yeah, yeah. Phoenix is quite interesting because ideally in the spectrum of workouts, like as an organization, because we're situated in, I want to say, Aspire grounds, we want to really try and like utilize every section we can. So like this year coming is obviously something special for the people that are participating. But I remember that year we utilized that football pitch and then we came back into the dome the next day. And that dome is pretty special, man. Like the way that it's situated, the way that it holds the crowds in like a circular fashion, it sucks you in essentially, you know, which I don't think I've ever experienced that in any other competition outside or even inside the GCC, because a lot of the competitions are outside. So there's a lot of that, which is great. You get the fresh air, you get crowds of people very close to you. But that dome, special. it brings some energy, man.
Games vibes.
Exactly.
Games vibes.
Absolutely. And you got the DJ playing at the back. He's smashing the deck. So, yeah, it's a. I almost want to say like it really does brings the floor alive when the show is on. What was your favorite workout for that weekend?
That year, I'd say the final, because I reached the final. Okay. I got top 7 in that year. It was the lunges, rope climbs.
Okay,
nice. It was I did not know Misha at that time, but it was a really good race with him, especially the overhead lunges at the end. Yeah, he dropped the bar. That was really funny.
Oh man, yeah, that was a spicy one. I'm trying to recall it. It was
3 legless rope climbs.
Yeah, came back,
back rack lunges.
Then front.
Then front, then overhead. So it's 3, 2, 1 and lunges.
That was cool. I liked that it also the final was a sprint.
Yeah.
You know, people had to really put themselves to the test, you know. I mean, if you wanted to win, you had to go. You had to really go for it. I have another question. You run through this whole process of falling in love with CrossFit. You fall in love with the sport. During going through all of this and doing the Open, making semifinals, doing your first Phoenix Games, what do you feel was something that was missing so that when you came into the second Phoenix, you knew you were going to push yourself or you had a better chance? Because one thing I've noticed, like one thing I can tell you about CrossFit, and this is coming from someone that is definitely attempted to obviously push myself through the boundaries. CrossFit is very ruthless to, how can I say, you can't cheat it, if that makes sense. Like if you're missing something, you're going to find out. And you will find out on no matter what stage it is. Yeah. You know, as soon as you enter a competition, the workouts are designed to poke holes.
You will get caught.
You know?
Yeah. That's what happened the first Phoenix. The first workout was good because my aerobic capacity was very nice. But the second workout was I think 3 rounds. You start with ski, it's front squats and 15 handstand push-ups, 3 rounds. On the handstand push-ups, man, I died there. Like you see, you're the only one standing. Everyone is doing squats and coming back, finishing a round and coming back, and you're still struggling in one movement. That hits hard.
That workout originally was supposed to be 21:59, And
Still, it's a 45 reps volume,
correct.
so it's
But
the same.
it is, but there's this thing that happens with lactic acid in handstand push-ups
Push-up.
where once it's gone,
It's gone.
your heart rate could be at 50.
50.
There is nothing you can do.
about it.
So when we thought about it, we were like 21:59. It's like, oh, but hang on, they could have enough, or they'll have less build up at the end, so they could get through the 9. But if we made it 15, just by manipulating the numbers,
Yeah.
it could catch some
did,
people.
And it did.
Okay.
So that was my worst workout, and I think it's one of the reasons I had to come back and work more and put in more hours of work. A better strategy, I'd say. And after that, of 1 year of really dedicating myself, I changed programs. I took a one-on-one
Private
training,
coaching.
Private coaching. I think that helped too.
I'm glad you brought up this topic because I mean you're a PT as well, and it's part of your way of living. I'd noticed, especially with people that fall in love with CrossFit, I'd noticed one thing, and I actually had this conversation on the previous pod that we spoke with Bubbly, is that you can follow any program and you're going to do well.
Yes.
Because it's just about reps. It's about putting in that time. So anyone can go online, pick any program
you want.
You're going to succeed. You're going to get better. You're going to get stronger. You're going to build a better capacity. If you just keep moving, you're going to get better.
To a certain level.
Right. So I think where the private coaching comes in is, in my opinion, is it's not a let me rephrase. Where the private coaching comes in is for me is where like the program is designed on your weaknesses. It's not on an average or a baseline schedule, right? So as an example, say all right, well, you struggle with handstand push-ups over a certain amount of repetitions under fatigue. Well, that's why you go private is because we're trying to find out where that weakness is. We try and develop it while still keeping everything else going. Yeah. So it's like this, because CrossFit is interesting. You've got all these different modalities that you need to get better at. And then once you get better at them, it's like, okay, well, how well can you do them when you're tired?
That's it.
You know, it's like, it's a never ending process of development. But private coaching is definitely a smart protocol to get into if you've found a weakness that you want to actually develop.
Yeah.
And then there's another key thing too is being the I notice this quite often, even for myself, when I sign up to private coaching often, and I feel that the psychological communication is important.
It is.
Because just giving someone data and talking about it is like half the job won,
Done.
you know?
Yeah,
and if you're having a shitty day and you're like, you're maybe not as, how can I say, you're just not performing as you should during that day, having that one person to communicate with, where you can tell them, hey man, today sucked, bro.
It does help, trust me, it does help a lot.
I agree.
Yeah.
Having that
especially the fact of you just have to execute, and even though your training did not go well, you tell them that your day was shitty, so they reprogram the other day, or they reschedule, drop the volume. You will get the benefit from it anyway, even though they drop the volume. As long as you're getting the job done, day by day, you will get better. For sure.
Anyway, carry on. So you move on to a private program to help iron out small little issues that you thought you had. Okay, nice.
And I had more time to train actually after Phoenix. So because my uni history is quite disturbing, I can say, because I started with law for 2 years, switched to business, and then moved into physiotherapy.
Okay.
So when I started physiotherapy, I had more time to train because my uni was very close to my gym. So in my lunch break, I take my lunch in school. By 12:30, I ate. I'm done. So I go to work out for an hour and a half, then come back to uni.
All right, I see.
Because before I was exactly like you. I had to wake up at 6 to go to uni at 7 because it's 20 kilometers far from where I live. So it's one way, 1 hour to go, 8 hours there and 1 hour to come back. So it's from 7 a.m. it's actually from 7 to 7. So you don't have time to train. You don't have enough time to train. You don't get enough volume during your week. But when I switched to physiotherapy, still it's 8 hours of uni, but waking up at 6, working out between 7 to 8:30 because school starts at 9. And then you have your lunch break. It's another an hour and a half. And after uni, it's from 7 to 9. So you have a good 3 to 5 hours a day where you can finish the full schedule. And as I say, as long as you are putting in the work, it's 1 year. And I literally moved from taking 7th to taking 1st.
Yeah.
So that's it.
True. You know that it's interesting when you're a student, or even I'm talking even from high school up to university. Those like fundamental years, if you can put in and program your brain to be able to have like rigid timelines. The time you leave and you go work outside, and whether it's in a gym or it doesn't really matter what you go do for a living, even if you work at 8 to 5, if you have those rigid fundamental timelines in, you can still make it work outside.
You will.
You know, I mean, even before we went live, just talking about your schedule, even till this day, you still wake up early, come to the gym, do your 2-hour block of strength, then chill,
carry on with your day,
and then
you
come back.
Yeah.
So it's actually just a matter of how badly do you want to perform, and
That's
how
the
badly do you want to
difference.
get better.
That's
Which is, for a lot of people, I think that just moving is the first step, and then once you fall in love with that, you can find something greater. So a whole year goes by, you come 7th, great experience. You come back to take revenge on what you fell short on
Not
the
really. I
second
literally
Phoenix.
I came here with 0 expectations.
Really?
I came to have fun, to see the guys, to meet new friends, literally just to have fun. But I knew I would do better than last year.
Okay.
And with the first event done, second event, third event done, by day 1, I see myself at the top of the leaderboard. I'm like, yeah, man, you should trust yourself. You can make it.
Okay.
1 more day to go.
All right. Do you remember where you placed after the second day? Were you first on the leaderboard?
After the first day?
No.
It was just a 2 days competition.
Yes. After the first day.
Yes,
so on the second day,
on the second,
you
placed
placed first.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a good lead over the second. So I was
All
like,
right.
just no mistakes.
Yeah.
Especially when the 3 workouts that I have remaining workouts, I'm confident enough, because the handstand push-ups workout is done on the first day, and I did good. I took second, so that's a very good result for a weakness. And by the end of day 1, I was first on the leaderboard. 3 remaining workouts, I can do it. So I just had to trust myself. I had people behind me that supported me. And after day 2, done.
Right. Amazing. What was the feeling like after 365 days coming back to Phoenix and knowing, by that last workout, you knew, okay, it's set. Like, this is yours for the taking.
To be honest, even after winning Phoenix, I was not very satisfied. Yeah, I won this competition, but when you try to improve, there's always a but in your head. is it just by luck? It just because the workouts were your yani,
In your wheelhouse.
yes, or did you really got better? So I was always questioning myself. I didn't want to get arrogant. I don't want to have too much self-confidence. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I won the competition, but still, you have a lot of work remaining. Yeah.
Okay.
Stay humble. Enjoy your first win, your first gold medal, but still, you have a lot of work to put in. You're not, because the goal is to be a games athlete. And when I compare myself to games athlete, I still have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Okay. The one thing I'd noticed is that at least Phoenix put a fire in your belly to try and push yourself.
That's another motivation to add it to the list, that yes, one day you will make it.
Okay.
You just trust the process. Step by step, you will make it one day.
Confidence building.
Yes.
Okay. And after Phoenix, I believe you went back, and then you got the call from the guards upstairs, and they asked you to join Erada,
Yes.
which is
amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really
beautiful. Bro, it's so
very
interesting.
Grateful for that.
It was so funny. I'm thinking back to like the one day I came and coaching team workout, and I see you in the gym. I'm like, this guy.
I know this guy.
Like, are you here on holiday? And I'll never forget. You're like, no, bro, I work here now. I'm like, I look back, I look at Khalid. I'm like,
Did you bring this guy?
he's here. We got the Phoenix game champ as our coach. That's bomb, dude. But yeah, it was super cool to see you, and I'm sure the guys from Erada are looking after you and ensuring that you feel at home.
Yeah.
You know, they're very wholesome people.
They are.
They really try and make this gym a place of like solitude, you know, where people that come here, bro, there are people that come here at 10 o'clock in the morning and leave at 7.
7, yeah.
So, sometimes I walk past, I'm like, how are you still here? You know what I mean? Like, where's your bed? Is it upstairs? So, yeah, man, they really make this place a home, you know. So it's great to have you here, obviously. And so you've got this new home, you're training hard, coaching, PTing,
So, yeah.
doing everything
The good thing about
in-house.
it's I'm doing everything here.
Okay.
So I'm literally spending my day from 6, 7 a.m. till 8, 9 p.m. in this gym. The day passes by like this. You don't feel those 12, 14, up to 16 hours. You literally don't feel it. You're just enjoying. I'm enjoying my training. I'm enjoying my PTs. I'm enjoying my classes. I'm enjoying everything here. And that's really good, a very good environment to push, to train, to stay focused, to stay locked in.
And get better.
And get better and better.
Amazing. Phoenix passes and they decide to open up the Arab Open,
Yeah.
the Alfit Open Championship. How was that? In terms of, not comparison, but in terms of actually competing in the Arab region. Because after Phoenix, what I'd seen is the transition of a lot of Arab athletes now almost competing for that number one spot. And the development of CrossFitters in the Arab region has definitely grown.
Dude.
Which is, for one, it's beautiful to see because, you know, before you'd get maybe 1 or 2, if you're lucky, CrossFit athletes from the Arab region that make it to the games. But every year, like the development of athleticism here is really growing. The love of CrossFit or functional training is here.
Putting in the work here. They're trying to make it better and better, which is really good to see and really challenging. It's more motivating to put in the work. Yeah, you're not the only one working. You're not the only one training. There are other guys that work hard for that first spot. So no room for mistakes, no room for laziness, no room for nothing. You just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, someone else is gonna do it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, for sure. So
the Arab Championship was good. The vibes here was amazing in the qualifiers because we had 3 workouts to do. online to be able to qualify. The vibes here were amazing. I did the first 3 workouts. I took second, and the online qualifier, I had like 2 months to prepare for it. We went to Egypt. It was really good. The vibes were amazing. The resort was perfect. The workouts were very nice. Very good 3 days of competition, and stepped on that podium again for second place. But still, I was really happy with the performance. Really happy with the execution. I have a weakness. I admit it, but I'm
working on it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Was it a good fight till the end, or was it?
It is.
Okay.
It is a very good fight because after event 1, I was 15th.
Okay.
It was the swimming.
So you had to fight your way back.
Oh, dude, I had to.
Oh shit.
Yeah. After first event, I ranked 15th. It was a run swim workout. The running was really good, but the swimming was really bad.
Oh,
So
man.
you see the contrast.
Yes. Have you started swimming? Have you started
Yes,
practicing?
I started, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got time, bro. You got time.
So yeah, after that first event, I knew I would do bad, but not that bad. I was really hoping for top 7, top 8, but I got 15. I was like, dude, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
And after first, second event, third event, I think I climbed the leaderboard to top 5 after day 1. So it's still okay, but it was a quite big gap between me and the first 2 guys. After day 2, trying to get that gap smaller. After day 3, with a couple event wins, still the gap was there with 15 points, but I was really happy with the performance.
Okay. Wow. To climb from 15th place to second place
rough.
is
That was stressful.
dogfight.
So stressful.
I can believe it. I can believe it, man. Especially when it's that unexpected.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting how, I mean, the game of CrossFit, you're like, it's almost like I wouldn't classify it as chess, but it's definitely a game of numbers. Like you assess. Firstly, you assess the competition. All right, who's competing?
Yeah.
And whenever you compete, from what I've noticed is you analyze players based on numbers and figures that they throw out on social media.
Yes.
And then you look at the workout and you're like, okay, well, where do I fit in that position? Okay, so I might make top 5 here. I might make top 2 here, or I could win this one.
Yes, exactly.
But when that number gets snowballed into like your expectation and the reality, it takes a lot of mental fortitude to push yourself back, man. Like most people after being 15th, we've been like, you know what? I've seen people leave. Like when they, like the first event or second event, they see they drop off too far because their expectation is to be here. I've seen it often where they I pulled a calf. Sorry guys, I'm out. Yeah. see you next year. So,
man, that was a good fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fight.
And I think also a positive note is the fact that I think you can prove to yourself that even when the chips are down, you can make it. You know, which is great. That mental fortitude is it's few and far between with athletes because again, like it's not easy waking up and doing what you're doing. You know, it's I look at a lot of sports. There's not a lot of sports in the world that have the amount of different variables, specifically in individual sport. Like team sport, you can have an off day, man. 100% you can have an off day. I've seen it, bro. Even playing rugby, it's just not your day today. Hide behind the pack. You're good, bro. You're good. Someone's going to cover for you. Football's the same, you know. But
individual sports, especially this one, takes a lot of...
The variables to, excuse my French, to fuck it up is so high, you know. It's not even 1 minute. It's like 1 second. Or 2 seconds of just not focusing, taking an extra breath, taking one step back from the bar. Like all these little things change. It changes the time dynamic. It changes everything about it. So kudos to you, man. To come back from 15, that's amazing. And that was the last competition you did, right?
Yes.
This year.
Yes. Sorry.
So looking back at the last let's say 3.5 years of your CrossFit journey, building up to this Phoenix coming up now, it's fourth edition. How you liking your odds, bro?
Dude, I'm here for it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm very confident. Honestly,
Okay.
I'm very confident. I'm here for it. I'm gonna make it. It's personal this time.
Okay. All right. I love it. And I'm sure there's quite a few athletes that have their eyes on that gold medal this year.
Everyone has his eyes on the gold medal. It makes it more fun.
Of course.
Actually, it makes it more fun.
I checked the roster of athletes that got the invitation, and I see there's some not old dogs. That's not the right word, Cameron.
Yeah.
There's some there's some previous winners that are entering.
Yeah.
There's some almost want to say semi-finalists from Asia that are coming
from
through.
Africa too. Yeah.
So I think the roster this year is definitely a little bit more stacked. The previous athletes that have also made it through have definitely developed themselves better. So I think I want to say the rounds this year for that first place spot is going to be up there, man. But looking at yourself, you got to wax, bro. Fire's in the belly.
After moving to Doha and putting more hours of work, especially more hours to recover because you're in the gym. Yeah, you all need 30 minutes to stretch or to jump in a nice bath, eat, and carry on with your day. These small details, day by day, they add up and they make you way better. Especially for the past 7-8 months, comparing to me in last Phoenix, it's another 360 switch. I'm a much more better athlete, smarter, wiser, and it just keeps getting better.
I'm glad you brought up that topic because environment is really important. And I think for sport in general, and I mean, we'll just focus on CrossFit now, having the right environment it's almost critical because we'll bring it back even to, for instance, like you spend 12 to 16 hours here in the gym, but the gym facilitates everything that you need. So if you can put yourself in a position where your training, your recovery, your nutrition, your stress is all, almost want to say, set up in a way that you don't really have to worry. Like you don't need to worry about taking taxis or driving from different locations to another. Oh, I've got to rush to get you.
It makes all the difference. It makes all the difference.
You rock up here in the morning.
Yeah.
You do your training. You have your block for your clientele. You do your training again. You have your recovery protocols over here. You have everything available to you. I mean, I'm thinking now. How many times I walk into the coach's room and you're chilling on the couch
or sleeping,
lights out, dark room environment. So you utilize in your time in a way that allows you to excel in what you're doing.
That what makes the difference. Games athlete, why are they very good? Because that's all they do. He's just in the gym from the morning till the evening. He works out, he eats, he sleeps. He warms up again and he goes on for his second or third session. Day in, day out for 5 years. Of course, you will be very good at this. There's no secrets.
Just hard work.
Train hard, work hard, recover hard, and you'll be good.
In terms of your training methodology, you follow a program? You're still on a one-on-one program for yourself?
I'm still on a one-on-one. On another level.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with the proven, but a one-on-one.
I see.
So yeah.
Okay.
I moved with this new coach. Cheers to Joey from here. His name is Joey. For February, so that's like 6 months.
Okay.
5 months. So after Phoenix, so I'll let you
break it down for me.
Yeah, put you in the. After Phoenix, I came to Doha, and I came to Doha in November, In January 2024, we had this competition in UAE, Storm Games. You know it? No?
Yes.
Yeah, Storm
Been
Games.
there before.
Yeah, been there. Yeah. It was a really good competition, but one, it had a swimming event. Again.
Hey, there's a common denominator popping up here, bro.
Dude. I'm very known now on being very bad in swimming. But anyway. But coming to this competition after winning a competition, it's more of a mental game. So you're like, yes, I just won a competition. And I was very stressed to win this one rather than having fun and just doing the workouts and enjoying the process like I did in Phoenix. Coming to Phoenix with zero expectations, I had so much fun and I won it. Coming to this competition in UAE after winning and stressing myself, no, I have to make it. What would people think if I don't win? And all of this, my stress level, dude, was skyrocketing. I was pale. People were like, dude, relax, what's happening? I was throwing up before every event. I was like, what's happening to me, man? And yes, I took second. I was not happy. I would say that's the worst competition I've done in my life because I did it to myself. I was stressing to get first place rather than just get another competition, more experience. So coming back from that competition, I decided to change something. Something gotta change. What is it? I was looking, so I decided I emailed Tia Tumi's husband, Sean. I was like, dude, how can I do it? I would like to join your team. Is there any way I can join Proven? He replied, which is very nice from him. He was like, yes, in a couple of months, we're launching the 101 program and you're welcome to join. I was like, that's very nice. Let's try it. A brand new training program. And I was on a whole new level. I was like, okay, let's do it. February 1st, signed in, I started. First month, it's like I've never done CrossFit in my life. The amount of volume, the hours I got of work I have to put in, new movements, new volumes, new everything. By the third month, my body couldn't carry on. I got injured. Thanks to God, it was not that bad. So I've seen a doctor who's like, just you're full of inflammations, man. Just try to recover more. Try to eat more. You are good. Nothing is nothing serious, but just try to recover more. And after the 5th month, I got used to it. I'm much better than I was before. So that's it.
Okay. So essentially, the program was, again, we've spoken about this, where to break through the barrier, you have to find that fine line between competing and being a professional athlete and health.
Yeah.
And you made quite a nice comment where a lot of the times, if you want to be great or dare to be great, you have to put in the work, but that work comes at a cost. So essentially, it's not the program, it's you.
Yes.
You need to develop to be able to adjust yourself to that program to get better. And the only way you can do that is on the other 3 legs, which is your stress, your nutrition, and your sleep.
Yes.
So that is, the way that I see your mind switched to try and actually break those 4 pillars or bring those 4 pillars together is amazing. Because a lot of people would have been like, you know what, this program sucks. Fuck this program. The program made me injured, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day,
it's not about the program. It's about you, man.
You got, exactly. Yeah. And at the same time, like, there's so many other little variables to, like, even just the stretching, the warm-up drills, all these extra things you need to do for the program to work, you know? And the beautiful thing about humans is that we're all different. So what works for me might not work for you, man. You got to find that. And I've noticed a lot, especially like with Peting and doing online coaching myself, is that like what I always try and just tell my clients is, at the end of the day, like, you still got to find what works. Like, for instance, if we find a weakness, all right, let's take it at an entry level. Your double unders are not that great. You can only bust out 30, and then when you're under fatigue, it's like 15, right?
Yeah.
It's now on you to make sure that you become efficient in it. The workouts are still going to go according to plan, but you need to put in that extra 5 or 6 minutes.
Yes.
You know, like, if you expected me to spoon feed you all the way till the end,
No.
we're kind of like, then we kind of like hit a little bit of a crossroad. And I'm not saying that. I think what I'm trying to get to is how badly do you want it? You know, that extra little bit of work, that's on you now. We found the issue, fix it.
Yeah.
You know, and then when we retest, you're gonna see the development come through. You know, and that's the same with. I can give you all the mobility drills in the world. All right.
But are you going to do them or not?
When are you gonna find time to put it in? Because the program already, just the program is 90 minutes. And then you still got to do your warm-ups, you still got to do your cool-downs, you know. There's accessory work at the end. Like, you need to find that time. And at the end of the day, too, remember, when we came and sat on this conversation, you wanted this. You know?
Yeah.
People tend to forget, like, every time
you came to me the first day.
when you have that first initial setup, like, me as a coach, like, I never ever think of coaching in terms of how it's going to look on me, because it's not about me, it's about you. You know, what do you want? You give me the brief, I set up the brief to accommodate you, we chat every single day about it, right? And then 6 months comes down the line and you're like, bro,
I did not.
this is like, why am I not developing? Why is this not happening? And then we break it down, and then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, we've got all your stats, we've seen you've improved year on year, and oh wait, there, you haven't
done this.
Okay, well, let's talk about this. You know, what haven't you done? What haven't I done?
Yeah.
And how can we get better in that, right? And a lot of the times it is like, it could be stress from work. If you're a student, exams. It was just bad timing. You know, during that time you were writing maybe a finals, but at the same time we actually built up your, let's say, your testing week during that time as well.
So that's not good.
That can fold over.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
at the end of the day, it's so many variables, but you as an athlete, if this is something that you really want to pursue, I feel like a lot of the times owning up to be greater and be better, owning up to your responsibilities is also a very, very big key factor. Because I have also seen it quite often where people jump. I'm talking about at the pro level, like CrossFit athletes, they'll say, all right, you know, like, oh, I've moved over to X or I've moved over to Y. And yeah, a lot of the times if that's the right move, you got to do what makes you happy, and you got to make sure that you're in a comfortable environment. But I wonder if often you're not okay to own up to, I fucked up. I didn't put in that time. I didn't recover enough. I didn't do my due diligence to actually
get better,
you know? And because that's more difficult. It's easier to go, man, this didn't work. Sorry, but I'm out. You know, it is. It's far easier blaming someone else than blaming yourself.
So yeah, I had to do what I had to do. I increased my calorie intake by like 800 calories. It makes all the difference, man.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference. More time to stretch. As we said, those little details, because people always, they underestimate the compound effect, as we say. 1% every day, 1% every day, and you'll get there.
True. That's crazy, bro. It's also beautiful to see how you changed your environment, and that allowed you also to become a better athlete, to become a better I'm assuming even on the gym floor, to become a better coach, less stress, less environmental factors. So that allows you to also excel yourself in a better way, you know? And the thing is too, is like, this is going to sound, I'm not boosting you up here, but I've never seen you upset. You're always smiling. I'm serious. Every time I come into the gym, you're always smiling, man. You know, like you always have this very positive attitude and energy around you, even when the workout sucks. Like, there's like two factors I've noticed is always smiling, right? And then there'll be like that one workout where everything goes according to plan, and then everyone's in the like people be training, and you just hear this random shout, I'm like, fuck, who hurts himself? Like, who got hurt?
Yeah.
And it's just you like venting midway through a workout. So we got to catch that one still on camera. But honestly, I never see you in I wouldn't say bad mood, but I've never seen you uneasy. Like you're always super positive, you know, which is great. Which is great. Yeah. And I have a last question for today, and that is, you mentioned games is where you want to be bound, right? How do you feel your development process is pushing you towards that final competition of actually going to the CrossFit Games, number one? And number two, how do you build your development actually pushing through there? Because that's a whole different ball game. I mean, if you look at like the way I try and digest it is, you have your class fitness, which is your basic fundamentals, and then you'll move on to your online programming, and that is just to become a better athlete. Once you build enough confidence through competitions, you eventually have an honest opinion with yourself on what you need to work on. You then pursue that. You become greater. And then you get to this middle ground. There's like another ceiling you need to crack, because the difference between someone that actually competes in a semi-final event and someone that actually makes it to the games is one level. And then from the games to actually be top 20 is another level. And then top 10 is another. And like, and you get where it's going. So for you, okay, two questions. Let's bring it back. What made you decide actually games bound is where you want to foresee yourself? Is it, and then two, how do you actually want to get there?
The games bound is the goal since day one.
Okay.
So to make this clear.
Oh, wow.
How to make it? At first, I did not know. So it was like, you just started. You need at least 5 years to get better at these sports. So I was very realistic with myself. You need at least 5 years from day one, from your first class. You need 5 years just to get better at these sports, to be at the competition level. Because I had movements I was not able to do, or even if I do it, my volume was very weak, and so on. So after 5 years, here I am today. I am good at a certain level, but to go to the games, first, I'm not stressing myself over it. I'm just keeping my head down and putting in the work. I trust my coach. I trust the process. I'm putting in the work day in and day out. And I have a feeling that one day I will make it. 2 years, 3 years, 5 more years, doesn't matter. As long as I'm putting in the work, I'm very confident with myself. I'm doing whatever it takes to avoid injuries. And then khalas. That's all you need. That's the mentality, actually.
The nugget I got out of there is belief. And that is the fact that since day one, when you were in that classroom, you felt it, the energy was good. It was something that sparked a fire in your belly. And you can't go anywhere without believing in yourself, man. And that is in anything that you do, whether you start a business, whether you go to become a professional athlete, no matter what it is. Like whenever you want to start something new, if you don't believe you can do it from the beginning,
you're not going to do it.
I saw something on Instagram this morning, and it was, you need 3 things for success, right? You need the balls to start, you need the brain to learn, and you need the heart to keep going.
Keep going, yes.
You know, because it's never going to be smooth. There's always going to be speed bumps in the road. And for CrossFit athletes, pick one. There's so many, man. You know, whether it's a new movement every year that they come up with.
Dude, yes.
Injuries that come into place. And then there's another one too. And that is also the bordering line of social media and sponsorship deals. I've seen it where like people do amazing things, they become famous and they get close to that number 1 spot or actually entering a and then they get sucked in, right? Because
we've seen many people stop CrossFit.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
just with because of the mental stress, because of the dude, it's heavy.
It is.
It is so heavy.
I agree.
That's why I'm just trying to chill, not think about it too much, because I believe in it. I'm doing what it takes. Stress-wise, I have people that support me, that believe in me, and I have people that I want to make proud. So it's more motivation to just go for it and do it.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Redouane, thanks for coming on, bro. I really appreciate it, and it's lovely having you here.
Yeah, it was really good.
Two things. I want to wish you all the best for Phoenix.
Thank you so
and
much.
I hope to see you on that #1 spot
Inshallah.
podium. I'll be on the floor, so I'll be watching you crush it. And number 2, I hope that your belief stays strong and that you pursue whatever it is you want to do, man. You're super young. You have an amazing future ahead of you. So crush it, bro.
Thank
you got
you
it.
very much.
Sweet.